Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, the message today is the lies we tell ourselves, or something like that. And, it's really not a terrible reading. It's just, a question that keeps coming up is like, how do I look into my blind spots when I'm fucking blind to it? How do I see what I'm missing about myself? Little by little, it's about making a commitment to become consciously aware of, what Abraham Hicks would call your resistance. And some of those things can be criticizing yourself, rejecting yourself, denying yourself. And I'm really one to talk because I catch myself doing it all fucking day long. So I'm going to get a journal, like it's always coming through for everybody else. Get a journal and start writing this shit down. Write down, was I criticizing myself? Was I rejecting myself? Did I do something like act like an asshole that I'm like, that's not me, and then start a dialogue with yourself. What are my beliefs around this? Why am I so hard on myself about this? Or, why does this feel so shameful? And is this really my belief, or is this what I was told I have to believe? What would I choose to believe about this if I felt like I had a choice? And then you start to really unlock your deeper beliefs, and you start to unlock the cage. You start to unlock the cage. So we'll jump right into the cards. We've got the Seven of Swords, and this is sitting on the, how was it? On the Ten of Wands sideways. So it's carrying this heavy burden of deception. But the cards that are with it, it's like the lies we tell ourselves, the burdens of deception we carry, that we're protecting kind of a fragile ego. Because the next cards is the Emperor reversed and the World or the Universe card reversed. And so really, when we think we're protecting our egos, we think we're protecting ourselves. What we're really doing is carrying a heavy burden that's locking us out. Again, talking about this unlocking, that's locking us out of our greatness. So, going a little bit deeper. So yeah, the Seven of Swords is a card of deception, sneakiness, lying. Again, because of these, it feels like it's the lies we tell ourselves. And then the Ten of Wands is about a burden that you're carrying. And tens indicate the completion of a cycle. I love that we've also got the World card, or the Universe, which also talks about closing out cycles. So you're achieving it's like you're at a level up point. And I like that I started to say you're achieving something. You're achieving a greater awareness, a greater consciousness, so that when you begin to recognize these things, you can choose. I have a silly metaphor for this. Oh, my ring light just went out. I have a silly metaphor for this. I sucked my thumb up until I was 8 years old. And my parents did everything they could to try to make me stop sucking my thumb, and my stepmother especially was just determined to make me stop sucking my thumb. And we had charts, and I was wearing socks on my hands at night, Tabasco on the thumb. Nothing could make me stop sucking my thumb. And then when I left that household and moved back with my mom, and now she was getting married to my stepdad, for some reason I felt safe there. And I just didn't want to suck my thumb, like it was such a habitual thing. But then I realized I don't need to do this anymore. And so it's something like that and maybe starting out with how we criticize ourselves and all of that, maybe we want to end a behavior, but when we try to force it, and especially when we're trying to force it to make somebody else happy, it just ends up internalizing all this shame and self-hatred. But if you just kind of allow it and then work on other parts of your life, look for where you're not feeling safe. Look for ways that you can bring, whatever it is, harmony, balance into your world. Then these burdens, then you're able to stop lying to yourself, one. And then, so it's like, first you've got to shine light and reflect into the blind spots and recognize this is a burden that I'm carrying. But instead of going into, I need this, or I hate myself because of this, but I can't let it go. This could be addiction. This could be any number of things, patterns, habits. These can be generational for that matter. It's such a burden, but once you stop denying it, So it's like the truth will set you free, truly. And then you're able to unlock whatever this is and complete the cycle and then step into your greatness. This is the emperor. You step into being your emperor self, which means, you know, you level up, you boss up, you know who the fuck you are, you know what you want in life, and you allow yourself to go after it. You allow yourself to conquer, and it could be conquering addictions. It could be conquering those things and bringing greater healing into your life. So those are the only tarot cards I pulled today, but then I got these oracle messages that just went right along with it. So I'm going to go ahead and read what the book says because I just think they're beautiful. So the first one is Heed the Messengers. And it is easy to ignore the messengers and the signs they show you. Okay. It is easy to ignore the messengers and the signs they show you, especially when they bring a message you do not want to hear. So don't shoot the messenger. No. But now is not the time to ignore the messengers. Do not let your fear of change or discomfort silence their voices. It is time for you to stop procrastinating, to see and to hear the truth and do what is necessary. Heed the messengers, for the wisdom they offer you is born of your own intuition and need. Then we've got the source of all. And I love this beautiful card. It's such a mirror, but it's also, it reminds me of the world card. It's so much the same thing where, you know, this opportunity to step through a portal. And I like that this card like demonstrates that there's a need to look within. So the source of all, your mind is the source of all thought, magic, inspiration, and creativity. Take a moment to dwell within the divine realms of your imagination. Visualize and create endless possibilities and opportunities. Now is the time to nurture the visions within and make them manifest. I feel like I have to read it all over again because I was trying to look at the camera and read, but whatever, you got it. And then, and I would go on and on, but I feel like it just kind of summarizes all of it. But no, I do want to go deeper. Your mind is the source of all thought, magic, inspiration, and creativity. Take a moment to dwell within the divine realms of your imagination. Visualize and create endless possibilities and opportunities. Now is the time to nurture the visions within and make them manifest. And I just want to say, get a notebook. Write it down, draw pictures. Writing is a manifestation in the material world. Pictures, it's a manifestation. And I have found that it helps, but also just visualizing, feeling the energy in your body, feeling what it is like to arrive. And that's why, like, sometimes the Chariot card comes out and it's like, practice arriving. We can have bigger goals, bigger visions, bigger dreams that we want to attain. But sometimes if we can get in the habit of arriving, you know, maybe it'll make it easier for us to go towards those bigger goals. So it's like, it can be driving your car and appreciating that, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have only dreamed of driving this car. Or it can be something as simple as getting your favorite sandwich at your favorite shop. You know, I have arrived. As you're getting that sandwich, as you're smelling it and tasting it, I wanted this, I went after it, and I manifested it. I have arrived. And so really practicing that you are the source of all in your reality. We truly do create our own realities. And then we've got trust in magic. Magic is the mysterious and coincidental. It is at the heart of those moments of synchronicity and knowing. It is woven into the awareness that there is more to life than what you can see. It is born of that moment when you step without fear and with loving heart into the void. Voice your desire, and have great spirits send messengers to show you the way, right back to the messengers. Have great spirit to send you messengers along the way, to show you the way. Trust in magic. It is real, and it surrounds you. Magic surrounds you. Know who the fuck you are. And, you know, don't be afraid to admit to yourself that you can always improve. That maybe there's patterns that used to serve you and they no longer do. Another example coming into my mind is, you know, a lot of times I'll come across people who want to quit smoking cigarettes, and the guides have come through and said, you know, instead of berating yourself and saying I need to quit and making it so hard, every time you go to smoke, have a conversation with your cigarette. Talk to the tobacco and thank it. You have been an ally. You have been a friend. You have helped me get through some of my most stressful moments, and I'm really grateful to what you have brought my life. But now I'm at a place where I recognize this isn't healthy for me and I want to choose different. So in my gratitude, I ask you as my ally and my friend to please help me release this addiction. And so then when you're smoking it, you've imbued it with this magic of evolving. You've imbued it with this magic of gratitude, and then you move towards that health. And so that's how we close out these old cycles and patterns, and then we really take our power back. All right, that's all I have for today. Once again, my name is Fairlight. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love until next time.